Hello, in this video I want to show you how to use the Carousel Builder Pack for Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. First, let's take a look at how to use the pack in After Effects. So here for MotionDuck extension, you can hover over any of the templates before you apply it and take a look at the preview. You can choose among 3 different categories of simple, 3D, and offset templates and click the apply button when you're ready to import a template. And after a brief moment, the template will import into your timeline, and now we want to import our images or video into the carousel. So what we can do is select the template and go to the Customizer tab here, and you click on Text/Holders. And over here, you'll see placeholder 01 all the way to 08. In some templates, there might be 12 placeholders. All you need to do is click on it, and this will open up the placeholder. From here, we can go ahead and import an image or video into this placeholder. And I highly suggest resizing and positioning your media to fit the placeholder perfectly via scale controls and positioning. When that's all said and done, you go back to your main composition and everything will update. You'll see that we have an image in here with some text on top. Another way we can import images is to double click on the template, and you'll see placeholder 01, 02, and so forth. We can just double click on the placeholder here, and then we go ahead and import our next image, scale, and resize it as needed to fit the composition. And just like previously, when we go back to our composition here, everything here is updated. Additionally, we can update text directly here inside the composition with the text tile tool, and you can go ahead and type out the text you want. Additionally, if you don't want the text layers, you can hide them directly here inside of the composition. Or you go to the control layer here and go to effect controls. And this gives you the ability to reposition and scale the titles as you need. And you also will have some tracking controls and line spacing if you have multiple lines within your edits. Additionally, you can turn off the background if you want to have a transparent background or use your own. You can also adjust the width and height of everything as needed. And obviously here you can change your background color and everything as needed. But real quick, I'll go ahead and finish out the rest of our placeholders with some images, or in your case, you may use some video. And as you build out your carousel, everything will update inside of your main composition, giving you the control to also use the customizer here to change colors and also adjust all the other controls that were within that control layer. But that's the gist of how to use this in After Effects. Now let's move over to Premiere Pro. So just like in After Effects, you can hover over a template to preview it before you import it. And in Premiere Pro, there are 2 ways to import a template. You can drag and drop it into your timeline, or more favorably, you can double click it. And after a short load, your template will load, and now we need to place in our media. To get started, we can select our template here in the timeline and go to the Properties window. To find the Properties window, just go to Window here at the top and click on Properties. If you're using an older version of Premiere Pro, make sure you go to Window, Essential Graphics. Now, to place in our own photos or video, we'll come here to Replace Media, and here's all the placeholders for this specific template. We'll go ahead and open up placeholder 01. And with the new Premiere updates, we can just drag and drop our footage right here into the placeholder. On older versions of Premiere Pro, you'll need to go ahead and click on the 3-line icon and click Replace from Explorer and import your footage or images this way. Once your media is imported, you can come here below your placeholder image and you can scale it down and resize the video or photo as needed. Once your image or video is imported, you can come here right underneath the placeholder and resize your media as needed to fit the template perfectly. And once you're happy with that, you go to the next placeholder and you can continue to place in your media as needed. And after importing all your media into the carousel template, your playback will look something like this. If it's a little bit low quality, you might need to render your timeline for a full quality playback. Keep in mind, you can change the endpoint directly inside the Properties panel if your video needs to start at a different time frame. You can also select in and out points directly here in the source window and import your media that way as well. But now let's go ahead and talk about some of the other features available here inside Premiere Pro. So firstly, you can turn off the background if you like, so you can place in your own backgrounds, or you just can keep it transparent. Additionally, you have the ability to adjust the colors of every single text placeholder here, including the background color if that's enabled. And of course, to change your titles, you can come here and type out anything that you like. If you don't want any of the extra titles or no titles at all you need to do is just go ahead and delete the original text that's there, and that will remove the title completely from your templates. Additionally, you can change the sizing of every single text layer here just by coming here to the drop downs for the specific text layer, and you can adjust the scale or whatever you need for that placeholder. And finally, you can adjust the overall sizing of the cards here by adjusting the width, the height, and even the roundness of every carousel template to fit your needs. And that's how you can edit your very own carousel template right here inside of Premiere Pro.